looks like it might be a... Hey, we got a sound. We got a sound. Welcome, everybody, to the Director's Garage Live. What a debut. Man, oh man. Good to be back. We are in the new studio. It's a little lively in here. I have no room treatment up. I have nothing. There's stuff kind of all over the place, but I have a basic video system together. And wow, a lot has happened just before I went on the air. I look a little dark. Am I dark? I don't know, guys. It looks good here, but on the monitor over there, it's not so bright. So maybe I need to brighten things up a little bit. You tell me if I'm looking dark at home. So let me tell you what's going on. First of all, the new studio is in place, and it's kind of a cool arrangement. What I did was I went out and I bought some edit desks. I bought these kind of, you know, if you go into an edit bay, and I'm an edit bay rat for 1,000 years. In my past life, I was an editor. So they make these big, massive desks, and they're super wide, and they're designed for editors to have equipment and scopes and monitors and all kinds of stuff. And I can get rid of these. So I bought 2 of them, and I've got them faced back to back. So that's kind of cool. That part of it I really like, and it's working for me. It takes up a lot of room, but I have a lot of desk space. But the problem was these things are tall, and I can't get a camera over them the way I did in my old place. So I designed this Moses approach to the studio, and these are 2 huge 36-inch maybe monitors. They're 5K monitors. They're super big, and normally they're put next to each other like this, so I have one long edit space for editing and for doing my work and for working at Entertainment Tonight and doing my job. But for the show, I can part them like the Red Sea, like Moses. And I part them to reveal the camera. So now the camera is shooting like this, you know, it's right here. The problem is the camera's a little further back. And so my normal lens, which is a prime, this is going to get a little technical, but I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. Which is a prime 24-inch, is too wide. It's like so wide that it picks up the edges of the monitors that I have parted like the Red Sea. So instead, I've got, so what I need is a 35mm prime, which is the one prime lens I don't own in the Cine series. So things are a little, I've got a zoom lens on there, which is okay. It'll do the job, but things aren't as good looking as they normally are. Your director doesn't look as good on the zoom lens as opposed to the prime cinema lens, where everything gets soft. I'll just have to buy one down the road and get into that. But we've got it all set up. Now I've got back here, I've got you can see behind me maybe, I've got the turntable out, I've got the DCS and the Bakun and the Molnar and the Macintosh and the reel-to-reel and a monitor here, and then in the back row you've got the Blue Hawaii, and you've got the Woo Audio WA5LE. So I've got a lot of, you know, there's a lot of space to move things out and move things in, and I kind of like that part of it. Plus I've got a huge desk space here in front of me for reviewing and for listening and all of that. The problem is, literally 20 minutes before I went on the air, my Hugo TT died, which is the main DAC for my system here. So I was watching a playback of a piece I wrote for today's show, and the audio went to the monitor audio, the little tin speaker on the inside. Cheers, everybody. Happy Hump Day. It's turning into more of a hump day now that my Hugo TT is dead. Now, it's died once before. This is the TT1. It's died once before, and it was the USB connection, and I'm going to trust that it's probably that same thing, because all the lights are on, everything's on it, it's just not seeing a computer. And I tried it off the laptop and I tried it off the computer, so it's not getting any signal on the USB channel input. And that tells me, I think, that the solder has broken again on the back of the USB. It happened once, but it was like 10 years ago, and I had it fixed. I had to take it somewhere, but I might do it myself this time if I can take it apart and figure it out, because it's so far out of warranty. I just have to do it myself. Meantime, though, what I use for monitoring is the Mackie Big Knob. That's what kind of controls the levels going to the speakers for playback. That also has a USB input, so that's going to be my USB interface for the short term until I figure out how to get the TT fixed. So there's that. Other things, we're not totally cabled just right. I've got some got some cables on order to come in. I need some 25 footers to get me around the room, and I've got some runners I just purchased. These things. These are cable runners, and you can run cable through them, and they sit flat on the ground, so it'll clean up the room a little bit. The main thing that I'm missing, and you may be able to tell this at home, is I'm missing my fast internet connection down here. The internet connection down here is running off of Wi-Fi, which is not good for streaming. So I don't know what the picture looks like at your end. You'll have to tell me. I think, I don't know, it looks a little dark, but this is the bad monitor. What if I move it over here? No, it still looks dark. Is it dark to you guys? I can brighten this thing up. I've got controls, boys. I've got controls. Good to be back on the air. It's been 2 weeks. But it looks good on the local monitor, so I'm not sure what's happening. You tell me. Is it dark? Is it not dark? Let me know, boys. Let me know. I'm just glad I got audio back, because I had to power cycle everything when I was testing the TT2, and I didn't power cycle the Symphony, so it didn't reattach, and I didn't have audio for the first 30 seconds. I had to wait for this thing to boot up. And this thing has the boot time of like an original Apple II. It's like it's got to put the floppy disks in it. This is the Apogee Symphony. It sounds great, but it takes a long time to boot up. In the background, we've got an old plasma I've recycled. This is a plasma. It's a Pioneer Elite. It needs to be lowered a little bit. We're going to lower it a little bit. And you see one cable there. That's going to go through the wall and down. So we're going to clean up all of that. That'll look great eventually. We just, we just got enough stuff together to go on the air. But I'm losing weight because we're on the bottom of 3 stories. So anything I moved in here had to come down 3 flights of stairs, and I had to go back up 3 flights of stairs. So it's been a lot of stair laps. I'm getting my Stairmaster in, and without even trying and working out, my watch tells me that I'm completing a lot of rings just from the movement around the house. It's a lot of fun though, and I can't wait. I've got ideas. I want to get some sound treatment on the ceiling and on the walls, so it kind of deadens the room a little bit. Get a carpet down or something. I don't know, but we've got beautiful wood floors in here. It's a really, really nice space to hold business. And if I open, I've got the blinds closed right now to kind of limit the light coming in. But if I open the blinds, I've got a beautiful treetop view out over the greater Los Angeles area. It's very fun and very nice, and I'm very happy that this space is coming together. So how are you all? What's going on in your world? Now I'm gonna have to buy a new DAC. It looks like for my work purposes. It's not gonna be anything fancy. It's gonna be probably gonna get the TT repaired. But no real new gear around here. It's been all move all the time, and all of our money is going into things like electricity and internet. New house is going to cost a lot of money, boys. But it's going to be worth it. We're very happy. It's really a cool place. But I'll do like a tour of this office once I kind of get it a little more settled. It's not like things are just things are out of boxes, and I got the boxes off the floor and put away, but we're still like there's a lot of cables running because this system is a lot. There's a lot going on here. I've got a monitor down here, and I've got my on-air, my streamer box, and a switcher, and then a recorder playback for if I wanted to play back a clip to you guys or something, I can do that. And then they got the laptop. Laptop's now over here instead of behind me because I got plenty of room on the wings. And I've got a full mixer that I'm not sure I'm going to use, but that would be for mixing the episodes. Kind of fun. Yes, there's the Pac-Man kind of, that's a thing called, I think that's called a tidbit. And it was one of those things that was on Facebook, and I went, I want that. That was back in my spending days, boys. Now we're broke. How's everything? We're going to get to the chat in a second. We've got Can Jam Chicago is coming up. I think that's this weekend, I think. I don't know. And there's also the audio show happening in LA, which is the big high-end show out here. And they've got lots of stuff. Oh, the other thing I have, guys, I have a fan. I have a little fan. This is a USB fan. Look at this. How cool is this thing? It's like, oh, yeah. You know. So hopefully that doesn't make a lot of noise. But it gets hot in here, guys. It gets hot. It's just the programming. The programming is too hot for TV. It's great for YouTube, though. But a lot of stuff, you know, just getting unpacked. I just did the turntable last night, got it basically set up. I got to check, you know, make sure that it's a Unilever VPI Scout. So I got to track it and make sure that it's all situated just right, because we don't want it tracking funny and damaging the records. The record collection, this house has a wine cellar. It's got like a $1,500 bottle wine cellar in it, and I don't drink, so we're going to keep half the wine cellar, but I'm going to take the other half. I'm going to take all the wine racks out and put in record storage. So that's where my record collection is going to be. It's going to be in half the wine cellar, so I can still have hooch on one side and get my my music on the other. So lots of plans. It's just going to take some time to get it all worked out and get the electrical worked out. I've got, at least nothing's blown down here yet, and I got everything in the world turned on down here right now. So the circuit seems solid so far, and all the stuff fires up. And I was listening to the Lena the other day through the Bakun, and it sounded good. Things are going well there. So the basics of the audio system are working good. Just had a little hiccup with the TT2, which is now going to need to get repaired, and we're off and running. I just got to finish cleaning up the place and straightening things. There's got a lot of little things in front of me, like my Noble wirelesses and some remote controls. The remote control for the candles back there, because they're not real. And then my remote control, I can give myself more light here if I wanted, just by doing that. That brings up the key light. So maybe that's better. I don't know. Maybe I'm better at darker. Yeah, see, now that looks more normal to me. So is it better? It's better by you? Like if I set that higher, you let me know. That's what I got. So let's go to the chat and see how you guys are doing. I want to cheers to you guys. Well, thank you for stopping by on a Director's Garage Wednesday Humpday Happy Hour Hangout, the 4-H Club we call it. Nectar, sweet water, or vodka on the rocks. You'll never know. But I'm just glad to be back. And glad I can start making videos soon. We're not quite there yet. Not everything's wired in. I don't have the overhead camera in yet. I don't have things that I can show you, so I can show you things. That's not straight, and the lighting's a little wonky still. But we're doing our best. We're on the air. Hey, we're live. All the things. Oh, you like the dinner light. You like the lower light level is what you're saying? So I'll go back to that. That's easy enough. I swear. Yeah, there we go. That's more evening. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I can't tell what it looks like. It's not. It looks really good on my monitor here, but I can't. My little Black Magic or my YouTube studio light looks a little dingy. I don't want to look dirty. Ace of Spades, howdy. How you doing, buddy? I'll break out the Coke for you. I got a little half a Coke sitting here. Richard Spector, howdy, gents, man. You guys, it's been a while. Matt Poole, good to see you. JTB, hello, hello, hello. Thought Michael got kidnapped or was in that sub lost by the Titanic. You know, that's a place I'd love to go. Maybe not in that particular vessel, but I'd love to go see it someday. That would be fun. That would be an adventure that I would take. Looks good. Okay, Richard Spector. Okay, well, that's good. Then I went back to the darker lighting and the mood lighting. And I think that works better for me anyway. It's not as bright and in my face, so that's good. I just assumed director got a tan for moving all his stuff. Am I not tan? Am I not tan enough for you boys? It's my natural, you know, Italian coming through. Setup looks great. Yes, thanks. It's still a work in progress. You know, like I said, I want to lower the TV a little bit, or maybe raise. This is a 2-level platform back here. So there's this lower level that the turntable's on and some of the things, and then in the back is like the reel-to-reel, and I've got some stuff up higher. That maybe needs to come up just a bit. So we've got some tweaks and adjustments I want to make around here. And then I got to get some room treatment because this room is lively. Man, I got to be having some echo, which is not the way I like to do things. So we are getting the left side if Michael is at the new place. Yes, we are at the new place for sure. This is it. This is it. And then, you know, I tried to keep I wanted to be evocative of the old show, but still, you know, I got the AC/DC sign back. I'm very happy about that. That pleases me. Need some other things. I want to put. I've got this old portrait. I'll show it off someday. I used to go to Beatles Fest in Chicago every year, and Terry Hemmert was the local DJ in Chicago and a Beatles aficionado, and had something to do with Hard Day's Night, and like, I don't know, but she's like a total Beatles geek nerd, and I used to go to that, and because it was all things Beatles, you could go, and one year the Beatles weren't there, not that old, but Astrid, Kirchner, who was the photographer of the Beatles in the early days, was there, and she was selling prints, and I got a lithograph of the Beatles in that train yard in Hamburg, and their Pete Best is still with the band at the time, so it was in the Pete Best days. He's still in the photo, and I have this beautiful. It's signed by her, not signed by the Beatles. I still haven't met Paul McCartney. It's one of those interviews that's on my to die for list, and need to get going on that. But that's going to go. I have that portrait, and that's going to go up on the wall, or maybe it's going to go at the bottom of the staircase. I haven't decided which, but I've got some artwork to put up, and then I've got my old. I've got a poster from Chicago from when I saw Ray Charles live, and they had one of those old concert bills, like the 3-color where it's a green, red, and yellow, kind of Rastafarian looking, but it's the old, you know, massive print thing that they used to do when they'd announce a concert, and it's Ray Charles is on it. So I'm like, I always loved that. Got a few things, and then my Washington poster, which has been in the background of the shot for years, which is the Capitol building. I snapped a shot of the Capitol just as a lightning bolt struck. It's like this amazing photo. I'll show you all this stuff someday. We'll get to it, but I gotta get that going, you know. All right, so let's get back to the chat. Sorry. And now, so the monitor's over here. So sorry if I'm looking off a little bit to this side. This is where the chat is, or I can put it on this screen, but I think I like it over here for now. I don't know. We'll get to see if I'm more to the left or more to the right of, geez, you're not going to make political jokes on the right Director's Garage Live now, are we? Sure, why not? I make jokes about everything. The Pac-Man and the upper, I talked about that. That's the tidbit. Ken Workshop had a 20 amp line run just for audio. Does it make a difference? He thinks so. Not a major expense. I had that done in my old house. I had a 20 amp line run just to the living room for the big Krell amp. Now, what you don't see is the other half of the room. This room's about divided roughly in half. This half is the working half where the studio is. On the second half is going to be a little listening area, I hope. And I've got my Vandersteens over there, and I've got the Krell sitting between them. And I want to get like just a couple of small chairs over there, a little place to listen to music and fill the room with sound. So that's coming. That's another thing that's maybe a month or two down the way. It's nothing I'm going to jump into. And I'm also going to buy, because the cats have completely destroyed my Vandersteen screens, I'm going to buy new screens for them and sort of refurbish the Vandersteens. They sell a kit, and you can do it yourself, and I'm kind of handy sometimes. Just don't tell anybody. Don't tell the missus. She'll have me doing projects all around the house, which is incidentally what I've been doing since we moved in. Little things, light bulbs out. There's 1,000 light bulbs in this place, and they're all out. So it's like finding the right light bulb and getting that done. Like a jazz club now. Yes, we love a jazz club. I love a good jazz club. We're hitting some purple light over here, and we got the blue light coming behind the monitor, and you know, like I did in the old place, but it's a much bigger monitor. That's like a 55-inch, and before I had like a 32-inch. So much bigger screen to go to. So I should maybe get some more artwork going back there. Maybe it can like evolve. Maybe have a video loop or something. Richard Spector, yes, like a jazz club now. Mr. Dynamite, great to see you in the new digs, buddy. Yeah, I'm really sipping some red wine over here. Cheers, everybody. It is Wednesday. Get your liquor on, please. And let me know what you're drinking. Yeah, I've got, you know, there's just some holes, some things I want to fill with stuff. You know, there's a blank space over here, right here. We got to put something there, and this is kind of just like a mishmash of stacked shit, and I want to figure that out. But it's all new. It's all just new and exciting. So it's kind of fun to rebuild what I've already done before. And getting the system up and working so I could stream is a lot, because this isn't like your ordinary, like, set up a camera and hook it into, you know, hook it up to a streamer kind of thing. This is a more involved setup, clearly, because I want to be able to look up stuff on the laptop, go to some favorite websites and stuff. We still can do that, I hope. Let's see. There we go. Do we have, yeah, there we go. All right, so let's see if that works, because I haven't even tried some of this stuff. I just kind of hooked it up, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. Do we got that? Yeah, there we go. There's, this is my old cat, by the way, in the background. See, we got the music going. That's good. We got to keep the music going. That's where the music comes from the laptop. And then we've got, this is my old cat, Oscar, who Holly would probably be jealous of if he was here. And then we can still look up stuff on the web browser, which is good. That's what we want to do. That's what we did on the old show. But I don't have to like turn around and move the mic around like crazy to get it done. We can just do it. I could even move it here. Maybe that would be better. I'd be looking into the mic instead of going off mic. But whatever. We're just figuring stuff out. It's kind of a fun day, and we're not going to spin the wheel today, Audio 46, but you know, Audio 46 is a damn good place to go to get your audio products, folks. The shameless plugs never stop. But it's nice. HiFiman Ananda Nano. Anybody try that yet? I have not. I haven't gotten anything from Audio 46. They don't even know I have my new address yet. I got to get that straightened out. A lot of address work, a lot of address changes. Yeah, it's just kind of like we're figuring it all out at once. And we're figuring it out together. So there we go. That's what I got. Let's go back to the chat. This is a very cozy setup. It is kind of cozy. I mean, you know, it's big. If you were here, you'd be like, wow, this is a huge ass room, dude. And it pretty much is. It's just, you know, the lens compresses things. I feel a little weird that I don't have my normal lens, which is this big, huge monster lens. I've got a very narrow lens. It's very long. It's a little jarring to get used to looking into that and hanging out. But, you know, we got to make sacrifices. I didn't have that 35 millimeter. It's killing me. I got to go out and buy that lens. It's a $2,000 lens, boys. It costs as much as, you know, HiFiman HE-1000 V3. Okay. Ace of Spades is at the gym now, but a bourbon mule has his name on it when he gets home. That's good. That's what we like to see. We encourage drinking around here. I wish I had alcoholic beverages, but I was working up until 2 hours ago, and then I thought, hey, I'm going to try and get the camera out because I got the computer system working, so I can go live today and say hey to y'all. I missed doing this. We're only going to do about an hour today, boys, because Mrs. Director is going to come home and she's probably going to want me to get some stuff going as far as projects around the place. There's a large box came today. I think it might be bar stools. I don't know. We'll see. For our live room, the audio quality is really good. Are you doing any processing to remove the room effect? I have one compressor. I have an analog compressor that I've run on this mic since I've owned it, and it's I run it into, it's just an old analog processing box called it's from Universal Audio, and it's got a mic pre on the one end, which gooses the microphone to line level, and then that runs into a compressor, and I've got some mild compression going on just to keep things level, and because I can't sit here and ride a fader while I'm doing the show, so I have a compressor that kind of handles the peaks and valleys, because Lord knows this show has a lot of peaks and valleys. Tommy V says it's dark. See, I'm getting all kinds of different opinions on the lighting, so maybe I need to come up a little bit. So, but you know, whatever. We'll sort it out. We'll play with it week by week. I made a little bit of an increase. Maybe that'll work better. Who knows? JTB got a stabilized Caldera. Now I'll be eating bologna sandwiches and noodles for a month. Dude, I'm in the same boat, except I didn't get a Caldera. I have a Caldera, but I bought a house. Houses make you poor very fast. There's so much to do, and everything costs money. And even like moving in, it was like the space of what the old studio was in has changed. Everything was very much on top of me before. So the monitor was here and the camera was right over it, shooting down on me. And so, but the distances were very narrow. Well, now the monitor that was just a couple of feet away is now clear across the room, and I don't have a long enough cable to go to it, so I've got stretched out cables until I get my longer cable runs in. So, you know, it's like we're just spatially a little wacky yet. I'm still figuring it out, but you know, it's a work in progress. This whole show's been a work in progress since episode 1. Retrospectors, any surprises, good or bad, with the DCS? What got me on the DCS a couple of times was the power on sequence. There's a power on and back, and there's a button under the front lip of it. And when I do a full review of it, I'll show it off. But if you're coming from a cold state where you're just plugging it in for the first time, you have to hold the button down under the front while you turn the power on the back in order to get it to fire. Otherwise, it will sit there and look at you dark, and you'll start getting that nervous anxiety like, maybe it doesn't work. It's a very expensive thing to not work. Please work, you know, until you go, oh, that's right, I got to hold the button down on the front when I turn the switch on. JTB encourages drinking bourbon while working out at the gym. You know, you'll make a lot of friends that way, I think. My wife does this dance class on Wednesday nights usually, and they all bring little vials of bourbon. They swig while they're working out and doing their dance class. And I admire them for that. I wish I was there half the time, but I'm usually on the air with you guys. Yeah, Mrs. Director is coming home from work soon, boys, soon. JTB says, oh, suddenly Ace of Spades, he behaved on hi-fi spending. Only recent purchases was a Rhythmic F12 and a Truth Ear Hexa IEM. Huh. Well, those aren't, I don't think the Truth Ears are that expensive. Rhythmics might be a little pricey. I don't remember. I like the Eurythmics. Sweet dreams, boys. Sweet dreams are made of these. Except it's this. Shouldn't it be this and she's kind of made it these? These what? I don't know. I don't know. You make the call on that one. Those Ken Workshop says those stabilized Calderas are looking amazing. I haven't gone online. I haven't been on ZMF's website. Guys, I've just been trying to get the systems up and running. So I'm a little out of the loop on what's new. I know HiFiman did some hinkery as far as HE1000s. I think they're now calling the Stealth HE1000s the V3. And I don't think they were doing that before. I think they were calling it the V2 Stealth Magnet Edition. So they changed they tweaked up the name, or maybe they just decided to change it. I don't know. But, and then they came out with these Nanos, which look pretty good. The HiFiman Nano. I mean, rather than, I should probably, but I tell you, the one that I do like, as I complete 3 sentences at once, the one that I do like is this one right here, the Aria Organic. Stunning studio value, so says HiFiman. I'd like the look of them, though. Oh, stop it. I think wow, they're just taking me to page after page. Open up much browser space there, HiFiman. I think these look gorgeous. I think this is inspired. I think it's a great design. It looks really pretty. This is probably the prettiest HiFiman I've ever seen. The mixture of the wood with the black works to me. That's a good aesthetic. Himalaya Pro. Summer sales, boys, pick them up. I saw a lot of Senny sales over Father's Day. HE1000. This thing that nobody likes. The EF600 coming still. I don't think that's out yet. I haven't seen anybody do a review of that. So yeah, and you can still get more stunning audio value at the Aria. So I don't know which is better, Aria at the Ananda. I don't know. That's HiFiman, boys. They have a bit of a soup's kitchen with their product line. I want to see them clean that up and have it all make sense again, because it really doesn't right now. HiFiman have lowered the prices on the HE1000 SE to $2,000 and the HE1000 V2 Stealth to $1,400. But didn't I see they're calling, JTB, aren't they calling something an HE1000 V3? Or did I make that up? Is that my mind playing tricks on me? I swear I saw it's a V3 HiFiman. HE1000. But I could be wrong. More reference. It's got to be a reference headphone, don't you think? No, that's... I'm going to go to this so you can look at it rather than look at my ugly face. HE1000 V2 SE. I swear to God, I saw it. Somebody sent me a flyer that said HiFiman HE1000 V3 the other day. And the V2 and the Stealth are the same price. How does that work? They got to clean this lineup, man. This lineup is a mess. There's no clear path to what's what. This is a messy, ugly page. Okay, HiFiman, get on it. This is bad news, man. You don't know what you're buying or what you should buy. You know, it's like, how do you have an HE1000, an HE1000 Stealth, and an HE1000 SE? And what does that mean? There's some really bad choices there on the Hifiman side. I'm going to call them out. I'm calling them out live. It's my mini rant. I don't know. They can do whatever they want with their product line, but it's confusing, right? So I think the SE, JTB says the V3 is the HE1000 V2 Stealth. Holy God, this is crazy. Stop the BS in the different versions. Cheers, brother. I'm 100% on with you, JTB. They make good headphones, guys. You just can't figure out what the hell you should buy. Good Lord, we've lost viewers. Did I go to a commercial? I'm sorry, guys. They started doing that when I hit a certain number, I think, on these live streams. And everybody clicks out for the commercials. Shoot. The Hifiman reminds me of the Apple product lineup for the 90s. Yes, and the Susvara is also very due for an update. Yeah, that's kind of why I was trying to sell mine, and I sold them, and then the guy returned them. They're still for sale. I still have them. And I bought new ear pads for them, too, even though I'm selling them. I wanted to hear the new ear pads on them. They actually sound pretty good. I bought a pair of Daconis for them, and I bought a pair of a regular Hifiman ear pads for them. Just something I wanted to do. I'm like, I still dump money into stuff even though I'm getting rid of it. It's stupid, but I get curious, and I'm like, I wonder if a different pair of head pads would make a difference. And I'm like, you know, it's the Hifiman Susvara curse. I just can't get rid of those things. I can't quit them. They're boomerang headphones. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. like The Godfather Part 3. Something must be coming with the HES1000 SE being dropped to 2000. That's a pretty good bet, buddy. If you're an owner of an SE, I'd be dumping those right now. Get rid of them now while you can. Get every dollar out of them you can, boys, because change is on the way. Or if you're curious, buy them now at a bargain. Hell, on the used market, that's about what they're selling for. So, you know, and I can get a new pair for the cost of a used. That's the best thing about new products, is they force all the good stuff lower. And there's nothing wrong with the HE1000 SE. It's a good headphone, really good headphone. I've been, you know, I pulled these out for today. This is the Expanse. I owe you guys a review on them. Oh, and the music sounds really good. Yeah, you're right. This doesn't sound so non-lively. I guess I don't have a gate on this. A gate is what you would use to cut the room noise down. It is a directional mic. It's only doing this side, but some treatment back here would be a good idea. I want to get some panels on the walls and panels hung on the ceiling, but I gotta, you know, you gotta buy them, you gotta install them. The old house sold. Yes, the original house is gone. It's been sold off, thank God, because I needed that money to pay for this place. We jumped up significantly in price, way more than I ever thought I would, but it's a good place, and it's very comfortable. I'm not as confined back here. I've got windows. I can actually look out and see stuff. And so when I'm working long hours, it's kind of nice to split the monitor, part the Red Seas here, and get a nice view while I'm working. It's kind of nice. It's a nice thing to be able to do. And then there's just more room. It's a nicer space. And I've got a sink over here and a bathroom attached to the room. So it's got its own private bath. And Holly has his litter box in there. So, you know, like father, like son, we can go together. Jesus, boys, what am I sharing? But what I'm using, the sink area, I'm actually using for my record cleaner. I have an old VPI record cleaner, the kind that it's got a vacuum and it sucks the fluid off the record when you're done cleaning it. That's what she said. But it can drain into the sink right there. It's all really convenient. What I really would love though is one of those ultrasonic thingies. You know, they're kind of narrower and smaller, and they're not so. But you put the record in, and it spins it around, and it puts it through a vibrating water thing, and gives it like a shock bath, and then it dries it really nice. But those are like $4,000, and I'm like, I gotta get the rest of the shit paid for around here first. Then we can think about that. But it's nice to have like all of these things right here. I don't have to go across the house to get stuff. The one thing is that we are on the bottom of 3 floors, and if I want to go get something to eat, you got to go up 2 flights of stairs, boys. So I'm going to work off anything I eat just in stair laps. So JTB, as far as the Caldera goes, it's pretty much all made all his other headphones irrelevant. Yeah, I'm telling you, that Caldera is a special headphone. And to me, it's like it sounds like the Susvara, maybe a little less speed, but a lot better bass. A lot better bass. The bass is well represented, and it's nice. Like there's some real slam there. It doesn't slam with like the LCD-4 or the Abyss 1266, which is still probably my favorite headphone-ish. I haven't done a shootout, but I got to get to that this year. We're going to do a shootout later in the year. But it's a great headphone. Like I think it's the best thing ZMF has ever done, by far. Not by far, but it's the best thing ZMF has ever done. And you know, and then you get their amazing aesthetics along with it, and the way they've improved their designs over the years and how great it is. That's a world class. That's in the very upper stratosphere of headphone experiences, in my opinion. There's very few headphones that will compete with that headphone right now. And it's easier to drive than the Abyss or the Susvara, which is even better. You know, you don't need a killer amp. You can have a reasonable, you know, you want a good amp, but something reasonable will take care of it. So JTB, I'm in 100% agreement with you, and I hope you're enjoying the hell out of them and getting a lot of listening in, because I think they're fantastic. In the future, it'd be great if you can show us all of your great audio gear. Well, I show it off piecemeal, but it would be fun to do a tour of this place once it's a little more sorted. Once it's a little more sorted. It's just like things are a little messy and like the desks aren't all clear. This is looking better back here, but like in front of me here, I've got like tons of remotes and cables, and I have this is a Bob Ross sock. I use these when I'm moving. I use them to cover microphones because it keeps them safe. I put socks on microphones. It keeps the components safe. So I still have that here. I've got a couple of Blink cameras that haven't been installed yet, and some feet for my different audio gear. I don't even remember what it's for. So you know, yeah. It's kind of disorganized, and I want to show it off when it's nice and done and feels completed. There's a huge closet over here too, by the way, that's got all of my video gear in it, which is great. That I'm excited about because I can actually get to all of my stuff. Like putting the studio together was nice today because it's all organized in there. I've actually got it laid out in a way that makes sense to me. And I'll leave probably the camera up so I can shoot and do live streams and stuff. But it's sorry, Miss Director Trust is texting me. She got a weird phone call today, and she wants to know. Oops, I'm in all caps on my keyboard. When we write scripts, boys, we do them on all caps for the tracks. So frequently I use all caps. And then when you go to type something, it's like, you're shouting at everybody. My first live stream, everyone says hello, Mrs. Director. I'm telling you all, telling the her that you all say hello. So yes, I want to do like I'll give you a full tour, and I want to get the chairs in here, a place to, you know, like to kind of that I'm gonna be able to sit and like listen to some music, if, you know, and relax a little bit, and when I'm not working, because you know I spend a lot of time in this chair. It's one of those funky Herman Miller deals, but I want a chair that I can, you know, put my feet up and put on some records, and you know. I'll run an audio line across to the Krell and be able to play some, you know, great music in here. I just got to get the room treated a little bit, and, make it all sound good and look good. So there you go. Back to JTB. JTB says, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Did I miss anybody? No, didn't look like it. JTB says, headphones and audio gear or food decisions. Well, you know, that's a good part of, like, you know, going on a diet is like I've got more room in my budget for audio gear now, but just being now sucked up by the house for the first few months here, because we need things like bar stools at the kitchen so we can sit and eat together. And you know, we're on the floor sitting Indian style eating, you know, eating out of a can because we can't afford food. Chef Boyardee. It's Spaghetti Wednesday, boys. Isn't Wednesday Prince Spaghetti Day? That goes back. That'll throw you back. Cheers, everyone, for who's stopping by today. I know it's not like this was a last-minute live stream. I had enough together at 2:30. I thought, okay, I'm going to go live. I'll make it 4 o'clock to be safe, so we could kind of enjoy a little afternoon time together. And let's see, enjoy your content. Any chance you'll be getting an iFi iCan Phantom to review? It looks pretty interesting. I have to reestablish some of my vendor things because I think the vendor bias thing has gone to bed finally. For the first couple of years here, there was a lot of complaints that guys who are getting audio gear sent to them by vendors, there was a lot of concern that people were just doling out glowing reviews to get gear sent to them, and that's, I didn't want that ever to come up as a possibility for this show, which is why I either work with Audio 46, who sends me stuff in exchange for me saying, hey, Audio 46 is a great place to buy your shit, or but there's no, you know, direct tie to the manufacturer that way. So that's the way I was doing it, and I did do a couple of review things for a Noble and for iFi, but so I should reach out to iFi and say, look, you know, I think the heat is past, and I'd love to check out, you know, do more. But I also didn't, in those early days, I didn't want to be like too tied into one vendor, because I want to do a lot of different things. So like if you get a relationship going with iFi, they're going to constantly be sending me iFi stuff, and then it's going to be the iFi show, and nobody wants to see the iFi show, right? You guys want to see different things. But I'll ask them. I'll ask them if they can send me something like that, and see if I can get them to lend me one. I'm sure they would. They were really open and very excited by the way I treated them. I did an animation and stuff for their, I did their Diablo, and I did their IDSD signature. And I preferred the IDSD signature to the Diablo, go figure. But it had a lot more nuance, you know, little things you could tweak on it. But I think there's a Diablo 2 coming soon. I think I read that. I don't know. Caldera closed in the works, not to my knowledge. The Caldera is brand new. They just did the Atrium closed. I don't think a Caldera closed is like something we'll see. It's going to be at least 6 months, I would think, before they drop another major bomb. I don't know, man. They've been just killing it at ZMF. I'm a fanboy, but keep in mind, I have spent $9,000 on ZMF headphones in the last 2.5 years. I bought a Verite Open, which I didn't care for, admittedly, didn't care for it, and then I got the Atrium Open back, which I love, absolutely love that headphone. It's my favorite, probably my favorite headphone is like just to use every day because it's such a neat headphone to wear. I love that headphone. And then I got the Caldera, which to me is like probably, it's definitely in the top 2 or 3 sounding headphones I've ever heard. So I'm a huge ZMF fan, and I've never gotten anything from them for free or to try. You know, they never called me and said, "Hey, Michael, I got to get more subscribers, and to get more subscribers, I got to get more episodes out." And that's just me doing content. But we're almost to the point where I can start doing shows again, and I owe you guys a review of these. The Expanse. We're gonna do a shootout video between the Blue Hawaii and the Mullner. And I had some discussions with guys about the Mullner and stuff, and you know what's good and what's not good, and I'm still convinced the Mullner is one of the top. I think I've got 2 absolutely killer electrostatic setups here, and the X9000 is a great sounding headphone, as is I still like the, and I got to do a review of that, and I'm going to do a mini shootout in that video with the Carbon. So I've got a lot of things that are like on the dockets, and I've got a whole list of things. I just haven't visited my list of shows to do in like 2 or 3 weeks, because it's all about moving in and getting everything in place. And I want to put I put a security system on the place and camera system and like all the things that you want to do when you get a new home. I got to get all that stuff up and running. So, but rest assured, the director's garage is now protected. Don't even try it. And I've got an armed cat. We'll take you down. Holly has been, and Holly hasn't made the adjustment too well. He's been very much an indoor cat. He doesn't go outdoors as much since I moved over here. He's asleep in his, I have a little like laundry basket with a towel in it, with a blanket in it, and he curls up in that for hours now. He's just like, there's crows out back that circle sometimes. And they attack Holly, so he's not a fan of crows, guys. He doesn't like the black crows. There's a joke there. I love the black crows. He doesn't like the black crows. Apparently he's more like, I don't know, Beatles fan. He likes small things. The squirrels. We never got is there a band called the Squirrels? There should be. That would be great. There were the Chipmunks. Maybe he likes the Chipmunks. God, I'm losing it. JTB says, and it's not hard to drive compared to the Susvara, which is key. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just talking about. He hasn't heard anything about a Caldera closed. He wouldn't be surprised if Zach makes one in the future. That wouldn't surprise me. I think it's going to be a while, though. And what's really amazing about the Caldera is how good it is for Zach's first planer. But remember that ZMF started making mods for planers, so he's not unfamiliar with the planers. But it's the first one he's manufactured himself, and I think that is shocking how good he was able to make that headphone for a first attempt. And I don't know if Zach ever watches the show, but probably I don't know why anybody would. But he's got it's a huge feather in his cap, that headphone. It's amazing. Cool. That'd be great to do. Yeah. And I'd love to do a tech, like walk you around the tech of how this place is put together. Cause there are, Blackmagic boxes and monitors and different setups for doing different things here and for listening on my near field monitors, which are now partially covered by actual video monitors right now because I've parted the Red Seas for this episode. And sorry, that'll make sense someday. It's not automatic though. What would be really cool is if I could close the director's garage and push a button and the 2 monitors automatically slide together like curtains and block your view. That would be a dream. That's in the future when we go automated. But by then I'll be a robot. I'll be AI. It won't matter. But yeah, I like having a bigger monitor back there, and it's great because when I'm working around here, I cut the cord. Speaking of and no, nobody had got pregnant around here, but I cut the cord, and we're not. There's no cable in the house. I have one fast internet feed, which I'm having a line run direct to the studio for streaming. That should help with the picture quality a bit, and also, you know, for uploading and downloading videos, it's going to get much better when I have a direct line down here into a router, into a gigabit router. But I have Roku on all of these TVs now, which is so convenient because it's one button, and the whole TV, you know, it's like, and it runs off of a USB or a HDMI stick, which you just provide power to off of the USB port. So it's like there's only one wire running into the monitor. The second wire that you see hanging down, that's the HDMI feed that allows me to feed different things into that monitor back there, depending on what I'm doing. So I can feed that in, I can change the logo back there, and I can play video. I can even be obnoxious and put this camera, I think, yeah, I can put, yeah, now we're like a picture and a picture and a picture. So all of this stuff is wired to be able to do cool things. And so it's not like your typical, like, I'm going to put up one camera and, you know, do a thing. So there you go. It's fun. Let's go back to the chat real quick, and then we'll start wrapping up. It's 5 o'clock, which means Mrs. Director is going to be on her way home soon, and she has some questions about a jinky phone call she got made. Jinky is one of my favorite words lately, because there's a lot of jinky around. Move into a new house and you find a lot of jinky. This house was built in 1980, which is good. It's relatively a newer house for LA. My last house was built in 1939. So it wasn't wired for anything. But this house has huge cable runs, like this big, like 50 cables, like, and it runs down to the different rooms and stuff, and it has phone lines. Remember when we had landlines? Well, it's got phone lines running all over the house, but it doesn't have Ethernet running to everywhere, and that's one of the things I need to do is change out kind of the phone lines for Ethernet, because Ethernet's far more valuable to have in different rooms. Cheers, everyone. Gosh, it's great to be back live. So enjoyed this, and I was looking forward to being able to do this, and I'm glad I've got it at least somewhat together for you guys to show off, and you can kind of get a sense of what the new Director's Garage will be. Got to get a lens, got to get the proper lens for the camera. I don't have it. You know, have to keep an eye open now for a 35 millimeter, because the 24 is just too wide, boys. We don't want to go that wide. The camera's back about probably 2 more feet from where it used to sit. It used to be right on top of me, and now it's like back a bit. So need a longer lens and a prime. That makes sense? Anybody know what a prime lens is? I bet Zach would do your show if you asked him to. I think, you know, maybe that's what we'll do for 5,000, you know, or I'm going to revisit. I got to get John Moulton on this show. I want to get a live John Moulton thing from Thailand. That would be ultimate. Because, you know, my favorite brands, I think, you know, my favorite brands, I love ZMF, and I love Noble. Like, those are two of the brands. I mean, they're small-ish companies that are doing really good things, that have been doing really good things for a long time, and they keep getting better. And like that, those are the companies that I like. I love that small, like, entrepreneur guys getting off the ground. The John Massarias, who's, you know, sent me some headphones, you know, just getting going, doing things. You know, some of you guys were developing stuff. I can't remember, was it Ace or was it, I can't remember, who was doing his own stuff and like developing his own speakers and headphones and stuff. That's the stuff, that's the spirit of innovation that this show just, like, that's the way to go. And that's why I like doing, because I'm kind of like a little independent. I don't have a big company behind me. I'm just kind of a guy doing my thing on the air, and we're sharing our experiences. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So we're caught up on the chat, and I've got no new news to report at this time. I'll get an episode started in the next few weeks. I just got to get a little more settled, and then we'll get that going. We'll get back to doing regular shows, and I'm excited to try out some of the gear I've got around here. I've got a brand new mixer, which I can't hold up or anything, but it's should help me mix the show, but I have my doubts that it's actually going to save me any time. So, and it's taking up a ton of desk space, so I'm not sure it's something that should live here permanently, or if it's something I should just pull in and out occasionally. Well, we'll see. Lots of stuff to show you guys. It's going to be great. I'll do a couple more. Oh, we got a couple of last things. Michael, your room seems a lot bigger. That is a good move. Yeah, it is bigger, and I've got more desk space. I've got more room for gear. I don't know that the monitor back here is going to live here. I think it may move over here somewhere. You know, I don't know. It might move a little bit, and then I'll have even more room. This is 94 inches long. That's what you can't tell, is this whole desk width is 94 inches. That's a lot of real estate, and it's double stacked. So there's a second row in the back that's raised up above the first row. It's a very cool setup. So I put a lot of thought into it, and there's this guy who was closing down some edit bays, and he was selling his desks. So I got both desks for like $300. And if you guys know edit desks, go online and try and buy them. They're like $3,000. So it's really, you know, really cool. Really cool that this is our workspace. You know, it gives us a lot of room to show stuff off. The overhead is going to be killer on this because I got such, and that's a nice desk. It's not a desk that I've been soldering on for 30 years. The old desk I threw out, boys. It's gone. We lost the old desk. I'm looking to buy his first flagship. Do you recommend the LCD-5 and Caldera? Well, it depends on what you're looking for, Abdullah. And cheers, by the way. New guys who show up around here get a cheers. We do a toast to you. Everybody around the world is cheersing, is raising their glass to you. It depends on what you're looking for. The LCD-5 is like one of the best reference headphones around, but you have to love reference, which is, you know, a tighter bass, a not extending, you know, deep down into those crazy subs the way I like a headphone to go, but tremendously fast, great speed. It's like if you were looking to mix music, that would be like one of the best headphones you could pick, because it's so beautifully shaped to be referenced, to be a reference situation. The Caldera is colored and beautifully colored. There's a little more sparkle on top compared to the LCD-5. It's just enhanced. It's like, and the bass goes deeper into the sub, and there's sub representation, something that Zach didn't build into the Atrium. The Atrium has good bass, but it doesn't have extended bass down low. The Caldera goes into that sub, which I think is great, and it's got great regular bass representation and a beautiful mid. So personally, my favorite is the Caldera of those two, but I think it comes down to what you're looking for in a headphone, and if it's your first, well, you've had other headphones, so fine, yeah, you're looking at that flagship level, you know, get as many as you can, you know, try as many as you can, and buy from a place like Audio 46 where they'll let you try something and return it if you don't like it. Like there's a 30-day return policy or something, so that if you're spending $4,000 on something, you can trade it. You know, go, now this isn't for me. I'm sorry. You know, if you don't like it, we can't do that. It doesn't help you with the ZMF. With something like an LCD-5, certainly they'd let you, you know, buy one and test it and then return it if you don't like it. That's a way to go. Or buy used, because, you know, we like the used stuff. So there you go. All good things. All good things. Yeah, a Caldera every day, twice on Sunday. That's JTB's opinion. And that would be my choice too. But I want to leave you room if your preference is like you like jazz and reference and you don't like any like enhancement down low. No, don't go with the Caldera because it's giving you that bass push. Absolutely. JTB ordered a Geshelli Labs amp. Love Geshelli. Small company in Florida. Yep, absolutely. Thoughts on my new neighbors so far? Yeah, but nothing I'm going to put on the air, buddy. It's Richard Spector, have a great rest of your week. Yeah, we're going to start winding this down. I think Mr. Director just got home. There are modded LCD-X. That's pretty good also. Rhythm Devils is the site. He's heard good things. Matthew Hilty, cheers, Matthew. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. I'm gonna start wrapping up because I got to get out of here. Lots of stuff happening around the director's garage. Oh, I'm in. What did I do? I did a bad thing, boys. I screwed something up. Like when I went on the air, right? Oops. Where's my big viewer? What happened? What happened here? I can't find my. There it is. iTunes. Whew. Guys. It's not iTunes anymore. It's just called Apple Music. Who knew? All right, guys. So that's going to wrap up our first live stream at the new place. I just wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. And it's kind of a little similar, but it's got some new things too. We're going to tweak the background a little bit. We're going to get different things going on. And it'll be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be another adventure that we get to share together and hang out. So thank you guys for showing up today. And I'm going to see you, before you know it. Cheers, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, let's get some music going. Man, I am so out of practice.